So we're here with Dr. Stamper at the Glaucoma 360 meeting. You gave us a presentation on OCT Angiography. So could you elaborate a little bit more on your presentation in terms of where we are?
Sure. I start out with the fact that OCT angiography is a very interesting new technology that offers the promise that of two things. One, that perhaps we can detect glaucoma or its progression earlier than with standard OCT, and also that it may give us some insight into the pathophysiology of glaucoma damage. Are there some patients who, rather than just having a pressure problem, have a vascular problem? Or do all glaucoma patients have vascular problems? And the technology is non-invasive, so its only downside really is that it takes a little extra time to do. And there's a small body of evidence that's building that OCT angiography does indicate glaucomatous damage relatively early. And it seems to be getting worse as glaucoma gets worse. So the questions that remain and that still need to be answered with OCT angiography are, does it give us any more information than standard OCT? Because it does add extra time to the testing. That means it's going to be a little extra cost, either to the office that's doing it, or to the patient, or to the payer. Somewhere along the line, somebody's got to pay for that extra time. And the technology is a little bit more expensive than standard OCT. So I think the questions that we're trying to answer, and I know several other centers are trying to answer, are: does this give us more information than standard OCT? Will it help us to distinguish, let's say, patients who have a primary vascular etiology to their glaucoma damage from those who are primary pressure related? If that's the case, then we have a tremendous tool that will help us individualize therapy for glaucoma. We're hoping that we'll have the answer soon, but one other thing that I think that I would hope would be that we could be able to determine if the glaucoma is progressing from looking at the OCT angiography.
So
Again, we don't know that yet.
Right. So I guess the obvious question is, where do we go from here?
We need to look at patients two ways. We need to look at a larger cross-section of patients. Do the people with normal tension glaucoma, for example, who have relatively low intraocular pressures, are they more likely to have reduction in their capillary density than, let's say, somebody with high pressure glaucoma? And then the other questions are more related to longevity. Can we detect progression? And that can only come from following patients over a relatively long period of time. But we're still looking hard for better ways of detecting glaucoma progression. And hopefully the OCT angiography may help, but it remains to be seen.